Hello, it's Willie from the Ozarks, and it's May the 8th, and we're ready for lesson 128 in A Course in Miracles workbook for students. Lesson 128, the world I see holds nothing that I want. The world I see holds nothing that I want. Yesterday's lesson, let's have a short review here, point out a few key points. In lesson 127, there is no love but God's. I want you to remember that. Remember, today we practice making free our minds of all the laws you think you must obey, of all the limits under which you live, and all the changes which you think are part of human destiny. Today we take the largest single step this course requests in your advance toward its established goal. If you achieve and that's quite a statement right there. That was yesterday's. There is no love but God's. We're making the greatest single step in the established goal. What is the established goal of A Course in Miracles? Well, to find peace, to attain complete peace, to know yourself, to see your oneness with God, to be yourself, the love that you are. So if you achieve the faintest glimmering of what love means today, you've advanced in distance beyond measure and time beyond the count of years to your release. So it was a very important lesson yesterday. Matter of fact, I felt this morning when I was listening to the video that I'd made last night, which was today's lesson. And I realized that I hadn't really done my lesson yesterday as at the two meditations for 15 minutes. I don't feel like I really had done the second one as strong as I really had wanted to. I think I might have cut it short, or I wasn't really attentive. I was a little bit tired last night. And I paused the video and after the review and said, I think I'm going to do another 15 minutes right now. And then I did my lesson. So you guys can do that. If you don't feel like you quite got it, I'm not saying that that's the best way to do it, but you don't want to do two lessons in one day. But at some point you have to hand off the baton from yesterday to today. And we don't have to use the literal midnight as the time that we make the change. And I made the change this morning for me because I felt like I needed one more good meditation. Anyway, I'm just mentioning that. I had two really good meditations this morning. One for the yesterday's lesson, which was all that I give is given to the day before. All that I give is given to myself, and there is no love but God's. And so anyway, just as a pointer of what I'd kind of encourage you all to do if you do have a time where you don't feel like you did good. I encourage you just to do it the way that he suggests yesterday, and then today when you get up in the morning, start a new lesson, because that's the ideal and that's the best. Okay, a few things I wanted to point out along with what I just said. This advance in time that we're going to save in finding self-realization or attaining peace or unshakable joy. He says that this lesson is the largest single step, and that if we just get a glimmering of what love means today, we've made huge advancement. All right, so hopefully you've made a little glimmering of what love means. He talks about how love's meaning is obscure to he that thinks that he can love at times and hate at other times. Well, hate might be a pretty strong word. Withholding love is also hate, or lack of love. Maybe it'd be a better way for you to think of it. And that's not something that obscures what love is. And the reason why is because you have to judge in order to withhold love. you have to judge that someone's not worthy. And you probably don't even think about it. You just have it's an unconscious act of avoidance or having a little snippy attitude towards people, or an avoidance, or just an irritation. It might be so subtle that you don't even notice it until you start doing these quiet times. That's why these quiet times extended, and then the repetitions throughout the day. Yesterday was, every few minutes, every 20 minutes was the ideal, that we were supposed to say, "I bless you, brother, with the love of God, which I would share with you. For I would learn the joyous lesson that there is no love but God's, and yours, and mine, and everyone's." I mean, if you said that all day, you probably got it memorized. If not, be sure you have your card and keep it going. No course whose purpose is to teach you what you really are could fail to emphasize there is no difference in what you are and what love is. Okay? I used to think of myself, when I first started realizing this years ago, I thought, am I understanding this, that we're love beings? That's what we are, is love beings. I'd come from a place where I thought I was more like, fairly lowly and, sinful. But that's referring to a worldview and a conception of myself that didn't see my oneness with God. And as I started awakening to the realization that I'm one with God, I started realizing, well, I guess maybe I'm a love being, along with all my brothers and sisters, which happens to be everybody that I see and don't see. Seen and unseen, they're all my brothers and sisters. There's only one creator. There's only one source for life. Let's see, I've got here another couple things. Let's see. What else did I want to share? Let us together then be glad to give some time to God today, and understand there's no better use for time than this. Okay, that 15 minutes or whatever we did, there's no better use for time than to do these lessons. And to set aside this time to escape from every law in which you now believe. Open your mind and rest. The world that seems to hold you prisoner can be escaped by anyone who does not hold it dear. And that's kind of a lead-in for today's lesson. Yesterday, he was telling us that if you don't hold this world dear, you won't be its prisoner. You can escape it just by not holding it dear. Today, the legion of the future years of waiting for salvation disappears before the timelessness of what you learned. I like that when he said the world in infancy is newly born. We're awakening to a new way of perceiving that's going to grow on us and going to fill the whole world with this love. And it's waiting for us to change our mind and to let it blossom. And boy, I'm really smelling these beautiful roses I've got here. They bloomed, and I brought them in to let you all see them. But you can't smell them, I understand, but they sure smell good. And that's the way the world's going to be. It's going to turn into roses. We're going to be able to stop and smell the flowers and see the flowers, because we've changed inside. Now the whole world changes. Because think not that you need to change the world. Change your thoughts about the world. We will remember. Okay, now are all our brothers. Now are they all our brothers in God's love? We're to recognize that everyone's our brother in God's love yesterday. As we said, I bless you, brother or sister, with the love of God which I would share with you. For I would learn the joyous lesson that there is no love but God's, and yours, and mine, and everyone's. I have a buckle blueberry. It's in a 2-gallon pot, so it's a little hard to bring it over. Let me show it. It's already got blueberries on it. Isn't that something? Blueberries growing in a pot. They say that this variety is a kind of a low-growing, low-bush blueberry, and that they do good growing in pots. They're a sweet blueberry, evidently, and they do real well for people who want to grow them in pots. I'll put this one in the ground, but no hurry since it's doing so well, just like it is. All right, so the lesson for today, lesson 128. The world I see holds nothing that I want. The world you see has nothing that you need to offer you, nothing that you can use in any way, nor anything at all that serves to give you joy. Believe this thought, and you are saved from years of misery, from countless disappointments, and from hopes that turn to bitter ashes of despair. No one but must accept this thought as true if he would leave this world behind and soar beyond its petty scope and little ways. Well, if you want to soar beyond the petty scope and little ways of the world, well, then don't see the world as offering you joy. It comes from something much more rich, more treasuring, love. Paragraph 2. Each thing you value here is but a chain that binds you to the world, and it will serve no other end but this. For everything must serve the purpose you have given it until you see a different purpose there. The only purpose worthy of your mind this world contains is that you pass it by without delaying to perceive some hope where there is none. Be you deceived no more. The world you see has nothing that you want. Wow, he makes it pretty clear, doesn't he, that we want to pass by the world we see. Paragraph 3. Escape today the chains you place upon your mind when you perceive salvation here. For what you value, you make part of you. That's a key concept that we didn't know, did we? For what you value, you make part of you as you perceive yourself. All things you seek to make your value greater in your sight limit you further. Hide your worth from you and add another bar across the door that leads to true awareness of yourself. We want awareness, self-realization, self-awareness. Well, then we don't want to value anything in this world. The world I see holds nothing that I want. Paragraph 4. Let nothing which relates to body thoughts delay your progress to salvation, nor permit temptation to believe the world has anything you want to hold you back. Nothing is here to cherish. Nothing here is worth one instant of delay and pain, one moment of uncertainty and doubt. The worthless offer nothing. Certainty of worth cannot be found in worthlessness. 5. Today we practice letting go all thought of values we have given to the world. We leave it free of purposes. We gave its aspects and its phases and its dreams. We hold it purposeless within our minds and loosen it from all we wish it were. Thus do we lift the chains which bar the door to freedom from the world and go beyond all little values and diminished goals. 6. Peace. And be still a little while, and see how far you rise above the world when you release your mind from chains and let it seek the level where it finds itself at home. It will be grateful to be free a while. It knows where it belongs, but free its wings and it will fly in sureness and in joy to join its holy purpose. Let it rest in its Creator, there to be restored to sanity, to freedom, and to love. 7. Give it 10 minutes rest 3 times today. So we're keeping this 30-minute longer extended period, but we're dividing it up into 3 times for 10 minutes. And when your eyes are opened afterwards, you will not value anything you see as much as when you looked at it before. Your whole perspective on the world will shift by just a little every time you let your mind escape its chains. Wow, those 10 minutes are quite powerful in freeing us, because it says our whole perspective on the world will shift just a little every time you let your mind escape its chains. The world is not where it belongs, and you belong where it would be and where it goes to rest when you release it from the world. Your guide is sure. Open your mind to him. Be still and rest. Your guide is sure. Open your mind to him. Be still and rest. Protect your mind throughout the day as well. And when you think you see some value in an aspect or an image of the world, refuse to lay this chain upon your mind and tell yourself with quiet certainty, this will not tempt me to delay myself. The world I see holds nothing that I want. The world I see holds nothing that I want.